Okay, Christian, we got a couple of questions for the AMAs.
What are the AMAs again?
Ask me anything. It's pretty much us reaching out to the listeners of the show, being like, hey, if you got questions for us, it's almost easier for you to submit a question. We can answer it in one of these quick videos, get back to you. And you can also email stories, stuff like that. We talk about this all on the podcast every Thursday. You know that. The gang at thefreakydeaky.com. Submit your paranormal experiences, all that fun stuff. But if you want to ask us something personally or get our take on something, then submit it as an AMA, a TFT AMA.
Got it.
If you will. This one is from Teresa, and I hope I didn't save them when they came in on the story thinking that they would stay there, and they did not. And so I'm using just my memory, which is very shot at the moment. So I hope this is from Teresa. But she asks, she wants to know, how did the podcast come to be? Pretty much, how did we start the podcast? And I can give a brief synopsis.
Go for it.
Christian and I, for no reason in particular, used to go down to our garage at the old house and just hang out.
No reason.
Just a couple guys going down to the garage to hang out. And for some reason, the garage was a magical place where we would always end up talking about weird things, right? Me being a believer in all things crazy, you being a believer in all things super crazy.
Rational.
So as you say, yeah. And so it got to the point, like, I kind of joked around, like, I've always listened to paranormal podcasts and I've always wanted to start one of my own. And I was kind of like, I don't know if it's ever going to happen. It's one of those things. I just want to start a paranormal podcast. Hopefully someday I can. And then him and I, or I guess you and I, we kind of we disagree on so much stuff that I'm like, we should just do it together. And that way I can try to convince you of things that I believe exist. And you can tell me every single episode for years that I don't believe in this. Yeah. But luckily, I mean, I think over the course of the podcast, there's a couple things that you kind of slightly grasp onto now a little more.
That wasn't really me.
I think you somewhat believe in giants now, and I think you kind of believe in Bigfoot now. And those are two things that episode 3 of season 1, you definitely didn't believe in giants.
I have not seen any proof that I believe either one of these things. There's no proof out there.
Yeah, go binge through the 2 giants episodes that we have. One which was written by Christian, by the way, and yeah. So, and I guess everything since then, it's just kind of been like, we're just kind of fleshing it out. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun experience. People seem to enjoy it. And yeah, so that was the basis of everything. And now.
It's funny too, because like, I'm the skeptic, but I grew up on a show called In Search Of.
Exactly.
Project Blue Book and things like that.
So you are like someone that actually wants to believe in these things. You just don't. Your mind has been so brainwashed by, lab coats and Bill Nye that you're like, I can't physically believe in these things.
The world's a better place when you don't believe in those things. You don't have little ghouls and monsters jumping out at you and like sparkly vampires.
It's so weird, because I think the world's a better place with those things in it. Where you're like, look how crazy this Lord of the Rings existence of ours is. Ugh, what a time to be alive.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings coming back.
Or never left.
True.
Yeah. And then JC, I believe this is from JC. And again, sorry, I didn't save these when these came in because I expected them to be saved in our messages on Instagram. Because I asked it over a story, like, if you got questions, like, submit us a question. I want to say JC submitted this. JC, if it's you, leave a comment or something, just so I know, because it's going to haunt my dreams for like the rest of eternity, unless I know for sure this was from you.
It truly will. He stresses over weird stuff.
I really focus on things. And again, sorry if the phrasing is off, but I believe I got the phrasing similar enough to the actual question you asked. And that is, which is more likely, flat Earth or hollow Earth? And I think we are 100% going to be on the same page on this, right? We'll say it on 3. We'll say 1, 2, 3, flat Earth. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I don't
you didn't even
flat Earth.
You went too quick. It's definitely hollow Earth. Definitely, has evidence because there's such things as caves. So there are some hollow spaces in there, whether they have, some kind of aliens or giants
or an inner sun.
Yeah, inner sun. King Kong and Godzilla.
Yeah.
Who knows what can be down there?
I think you're getting more Hollywood than reality, which happens a lot with you. But reality, I know you're going to laugh that I'm following the word reality with this is that Hollow Earth seems a lot more likely than, well, Flat Earth, number one, because Flat Earth does not seem likely at all to me. I'm sorry. And as that's someone that believes in a lot of stuff, I'm sorry, Flat Earth, I just don't see it. I don't see it, number one. And number two, I don't think it's a thing. But
I'm totally cool if people want to send us proof of their belief.
But also,
that doesn't necessarily mean it'll sway us, but we are interested if you have something that's legitimately proving that the Earth is flat.
Sure. But then if you have a flat Earth, can you have a hollow Earth?
No, you can't.
At that
it's
point,
one or the other.
At that point, is it box Earth?
It's boring.
It's got to be square Earth.
Yeah,
square,
definitely
hollow
square.
Earth.
It's hip to be square.
Yeah, it's square to be hip. No, but hollow Earth is one of my personal favorite topics, and ever since I heard it the first time, I think everyone is introduced via Admiral Byrd, I imagine.
I have heard those stories, but also there are plenty of Aboriginal tales, thousands of years old.
True.
Of different groups
to live under the earth
that came from under the earth.
Ant people.
And came out of, there's Native Americans in the U.S. That came from under the earth. They'd lived there for years to protect themselves. And eventually they were able to come to the surface. And those are the people we know today.
Yeah.
But it's not just here. It's all over the world. You hear those stories.
They really do be like that. Yeah.
So there's something there. Maybe it's just they lived in caves for protection.
Yeah.
Maybe they knew of caves that we don't know about.
Maybe they just don't like people. Hey, if that's the case, welcome me into the Hollow Earth. All right. Yeah. I'm on my way down. Call me Kaleo, because way down we go. Anyway, Hollow Earth, I think across the board, right?
Totally,
Hollow Earth.
Totally.
And I'm so glad you asked that question, because season 3, we've been dancing around it for the last 2 seasons, but it's one of those things where it's so dense that you almost need multiple episodes to even just breach on everything you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Because we keep our episodes to roughly an hour.
It'll be like Giants. You'll hear it pop up from time to time.
Yeah, it'll be the story that never ends.
The never-ending story.
I was trying to avoid the copyright issues, but sure. Anyway, thanks for that question, JC. If you have a question that you'd like to ask the boys, send it into the gang at thefreakydeaky.com or find us on Instagram at, I almost got it wrong. That's the first time in almost 2 years I got it wrong.
Yeah.
At Freaky Deaky Pod, and submit it via DM. Sometimes we'll post it as a story and ask us anything kind of story, and you can answer there too, but that didn't work out that great this last time because I forgot to save the answers. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Send us your questions. Peace out.